Jai Nandalala, Madivoli Sharanam. Welcome all to this New Year virtual satsang, and let me wish all a very happy New Year. I pray to Akka, you all remain safe and healthy, achieve grand success, and enjoy the best of life in the times ahead. We will start today's satsang by doing Sarva Vignam, Ganesh Vandana. ॐ सर्वविघ्नहरं देवं सर्वविघ्नविवर्जितं सर्वसिद्धिप्रदातारं वन्देऽहं गणनायकम् ॐ Yes, Mr. Shankar, you can lead.
மதிவொலி சரணம். அலையின் ஒளியாம் மதிவொலி, உண்மையின் வெளிச்சம் மதிவொலி, மயக்கத்தை மயக்கும் மதிவொலி, அன்பின் உருவம் மதிவொலி, ஒற்றுமையில் ஓங்கும் மதிவொலி. ஓம் 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 நாவிர் சரஸ்வதி நற்றுணையாக. At the very outset, I wish every Nandaji, whether present or not present, a very, very happy and prosperous 2021. Before we move into the topic, I thought I will share a certain amount of facts, some may know, some may not know, of the reason behind this book release and how this has been going on for several years. For this, we need to know a little bit of history. I will just go through that before we start the discussion on that topic. We understand time. We have just bade goodbye to year 2020. We have just entered 2021. This is a cycle. As one year ends, the other begins. This is the journey of time. This journey never breaks till the yuga ends. We all know there are Chatur yugas. Each yuga ends, the time also ends. But the underlying substratum of this universe, which is subject to change, is compassion, that is love. The compassion represents Creator. Creator never ceased to exist, therefore compassion never ceased to exist. It may hide in between two yugas. This spirit of compassion is called Adiparashakti. Adiparashakti, out of herself, created Goddess Saraswati and Goddess Kashmi and made them respectively the consorts of Lord Brahma and Lord Vishnu. She made herself the consort of Lord Shiva. Now, we should understand who is Madhivali. There is no world without water. In the absence of water, the world will die. These are the words of that saint poet Thiruvalluvar. Madhivali is the very source of this water. As we all know, there are 5 elements that constitute this cosmos, the importance of them being water. And this water is enshrined in the Panchabhutasthala, Thiruvaneka, at Tiruchirappalli, the presiding lord being Jambukeshwara. His consort is Agilandeshwari. She formed a solid, tangible lingam out of a flowing water that came to be known as Jambulingam. Her holiness Madhuvali is the incarnation of this deity, Agilandeshwari. Thus, Devi Parasakti, who is the creator, she became Agilandeshwari, and Agilandeshwari gave birth to Akka, our Madhuvali Akka, way back in 9th October 1940 at Pondicherry at 7:45 a.m. She lived with us in human form till 9th May 2018. And the day she was born was allocated to Mahasaraswati, the last 4 days of the Navaratri, where Mahasaraswati took a beautiful avatar to get rid of several demons. And that was the time when Shiyaka was born. She entered the womb on the Moola star and came out of the womb on Uttarada Nakshatra, which is Saraswati Puja day. Now, she, having been born as a Shakti, moved with every one of us. She did not stay away from us. She decided to stay with us as one among our family. And she established Nandalala and introduced everybody to Manisha Shiva. And that is very important for us to understand. And these people who have come under the umbrella of Nandalala came to be known as Nandajis. As the name stands, Madhuvali, for the full moon never discriminates between anybody. It rays fall across everything in every being, animate as well as inanimate. Similarly, occurs grace fell on everybody without any discretion as to religion or creed or caste or whatever it is, or educated or uneducated. Now, the larger purpose of Madhuvali's avatar. To live in this world, we need three energies. We call them as Bala or Shakti. One is Dega Shakti, which we understand, our physical body. Other is Buddhi Shakti, we understand our intellect. We give so much of importance to these two Shaktis. And these two Shaktis largely spin around our ego, it is I, me, and mine. Therefore, we are not actually full. In order to make ourselves complete, we need the most important Shakti, what is called Atma Bala, Atma Shakti. Without Atma Shakti, we are incomplete. We cannot lead a holistic life and live in balance. Therefore, Akka, very purpose of her avatar was to make us realize there is something beyond your physical body and your so-called intellect. There is something inward you that is called Atma Shakti that has to be raised, which can be raised only by love and compassion, and decided to spread this message across us and want to train each one of us. She moved with us, she spoke with us, she had satsangs, but she could not express everything in those satsangs because it has to be tailored to the people who are present at this point in time. So she wanted to pass the universal truth in the form of writings, and that how the urge was born to write books. Akka was born in 1940. 1953, she came to be known as Agilandeshwari's avatar, and at the age of 17, she has been writing quite a few things. But she started publishing them only from 1980, December 25th. That was the day she chose to release her books every year on December 25th. Now, December 25th, the first book she released was called Ilam Talirgal, that is Tender Leaves. It is meant for, really toddlers who are just about to read and write. From that, she moved on to get titles which covered all age groups, from your youth students to aged people who want to seek live in this world, and people who want to understand what is after their life in this world. She covered everything in her books. They amounted to like a Gita. Why this month of December? December, as we all know, it is Dhanurmasa, it is Margaji. There are several holy things that take place during this month. I'll recall two of them. It is recorded that Bhagavad Gita was given to Arjuna during this month of Dhanurmas on Vaikuntha Ekadasi. On December 25th, Jesus Christ was born. Aka's books have 18 chapters like Gita. So every year she has been releasing a book of Gita on the month of Margazhi, during the month of Margazhi. And Jesus is an embodiment of love. Akka is the very, very source and spring of love. No wonder she chose this particular month to release her books and give whatever we wanted to know in this life, irrespective of our age and our maturity. Our writings cut across maturity levels. You can pick a particular chapter and there is a message for a student. The same chapter, there is a message for somebody who is working. The same chapter, there is something somebody wants to look for salvation. Now, Akka started releasing the books from 1980, and she released the last book in physical presence in 2017, December 25th. That was the function where she was present physically at the last. The title that she physically released was Munneru, urging all of us to move forward in life. Don't look back. There is a ladder, you climb it, and I'll help you to climb it and reach the pinnacle. That was the last physical message. But we didn't want to discontinue. In 2018, we released a book. 2019, we released a book. And 2020, virtually, we are releasing a book. And Karthik Finance, who released it right from 1980, continue to do that, and they will continue to do that. And our Nandalal also will ensure that every December 25th, we have a function, release a book of articles written by Akka or whatever function we have to do in relation to Akka, we will do it. And this is a continuing assurance. This continuity has a connect with Adi Parashakti. As I told earlier, Adi Parashakti is Agilandeswari. Agilandeswari is multiple. Adi Parashakti is infinite. She is timeless. She is endless. Akka is also timeless. Akka is endless. Therefore, her continuity is bound to be here. And at this point in time, I would like to recall the personal promise Akka gave to, personally to me, and the message for every Nandaji. That was at the sunset in Dwaraka, way back in April 2010. It was a long, intuitive talk. I'll just shorten it. I have said it for several times. In her words, in her own words, I may leave this human body. I am not leaving any one of you. I will be in the air you breathe, in the water you use, in the fragrance of the flower you smell, the food you relish, and be your underlying Atma. I cannot separate myself from you, nor can you separate yourself from me. You have been with me in the previous avatars, and you will continue to be with me in my future avatars. Whatever I wanted to communicate for your upliftment, I put in indelible writings in my books. These will be your companion going forward. You can feel me and my communication in these writings that shall resolve each of your doubts, successfully meet the challenges you face in your life, and make you advance in your lives, be it material or spiritual. Readers of this book, Thodarum Nesangal, and the supplement Thaimai Amudam demonstrate this continuity. The meaning of Thodarum Nesangal is all about continuity. As mentioned in the beginning, our Madhyulaka is Adi Parasakti. She continues to be with us, and she is eternity. Undoubtedly, he is living in us and in our spirits. Let us tap these spirits and tap the message from our books and enjoy the few droplets from these two books going forward. Now, there are quite a few things in these two books. One is about Thodarum Nesangal, that Akka continues to be with us, giving her bond, giving her love, and giving her affection in a spiritual form, and a form which we can feel, but we may not be able to see that. Now, in this, before we get into the some of the extract from the book, we'll get into one nice song, a lyric written by Akka called Puttandi Malarndadari, which means a blossoming of the new year that is very relevant for this 2021. It's a beautiful song with a lot of meanings. First, let us listen to the song. I'll spend a few minutes on the meaning of that song later. Thank you. Kalani, can you play that music?
Yes, yes.
வானம் அடர்ந்திட மேகம் அரும்பிட வையம் மலர்ந்ததடி. வானம் அடர்ந்திட மேகம் அரும்பிட வையம் மலர்ந்ததடி. கானம் இழைந்திட காட்சி பிணைந்திட கனவு மலர்ந்ததடி. கானம் இழைந்திட காட்சி பிணைந்திட கனவு மலர்ந்ததடி. கண்கள் மலர்ந்திட கனிவு மலர்ந்திட காதல் மலர்ந்ததடி. கண்கள் மலர்ந்திட கனிவு மலர்ந்திட காதல் மலர்ந்ததடி. எண்ணம் மலர்ந்திட இதயம் மலர்ந்திட இன்பம் மலர்ந்ததடி. எண்ணம் மலர்ந்திட இதயம் மலர்ந்திட இன்பம் மலர்ந்ததடி. இன்பம் மலர்ந்ததடி. தென்றலும் வீசிட தெம்மாங்கு பாடிட தென்றலும் வீசிட தெம்மாங்கு பாடிட தேன்மலர் பூத்ததடி தென்றலும் வீசிட தெம்மாங்கு பாடிட தேன்மலர் பூத்ததடி கன்றுடன் தாயும் இணைந்திடும் காட்சியில் களிப்பு மலர்ந்ததடி கன்றுடன் தாயும் இணைந்திடும் காட்சியில் களிப்பு மலர்ந்ததடி பயிரும் வளர்ந்திட பசுமை வழிந்திட பார்வை நிறைந்ததடி பசுமை வழிந்திட பயிரும் வளர்ந்திட பார்வை நிறைந்ததடி அயர்வு அகன்றிட ஆக்கம் மலர்ந்திட ஆனந்தமாகுதடி அயர்வு அகன்றிட ஆக்கம் மலர்ந்திட ஆனந்தமாகுதடி ஆனந்தமாகுதடி கோயில் மணி ஓசை கூவி அழைத்திட கோயில் மணி ஓசை கூவி அழைத்திட கும்பிட தோன்றுதடி கோயில் மணி ஓசை கூவி அழைத்திட கும்பிட தோன்றுதடி செய்கள் மகிழ்ந்திட தாய்மை நிறைந்திட ஸ்ரீகள் மகிழ்ந்திட தாய்மை நிறைந்திட தெய்வம் மலர்ந்ததடி தெய்வம் மலர்ந்ததடி கதிரவன் தோன்றிட காரிருள் மாய்ந்திட கதிரவன் தோன்றிட காரிருள் மாய்ந்திட கடமை மலர்ந்ததடி கதிரவன் தோன்றிட காரிருள் மாய்ந்திட கடமை மலர்ந்ததடி புதுமை நிறைந்திட புன்மை அழிந்திட புதுமை நிறைந்திட புன்மை அழிந்திட புத்தாண்டு மலர்ந்ததடி புத்தாண்டு மலர்ந்ததடி புத்தாண்டு மலர்ந்ததடி
That was an amazing rendition of Hakka's very, very lively poem. Thanks to Janani for having brought it to life. And quite a few people, Nandalala, they respond to me in quick time. For whatever reason, Akka gives me intuitive to select this song and choose this person to sing. It happens to be a 24-hour notice. And every time an Andajum I call to respond, they responded. Janani is one of them. She shared this beautiful song to three ragas, Shuddha Saranga, Sindhu Bhairavi, and Mandu. I don't know why she chose them, but if you go through the contents of these lyrics, Shuddha Saranga is all about realizing your dream. And Sindhu Bhairavi is normally goes with the flow of water. We need water. And the Mandu goes with Bhakti. They actually stand for Deha Shakti, intellectual Shakti, and Anma Shakti. it happened coincidentally. I could realize it as I was listening to this song. The song is all about hope. First, we have lots of hopes for the new year. We have lots of dreams, and the dreams have to be realized. The dream is like this: I should feel very pleasant, as if I'm like the calf which runs to his mother to have milk. That's an amazing sight to see of love and compassion. And the land is looking for the rain to come. Therefore, it can flourish and feed all of us. But these are all hopes, these are all dreams. We need to do something to achieve these things. That's what the last four lines stand for. கதிரவன் தோன்றிட, காரிருள் மாய்ந்திட, கடமை மலர்ந்ததடி, புதுமை நிறைந்திட, புன்மை அழிந்திட, புத்தாண்டு மலர்ந்ததடி. It's a very, very meaningful four lines. I can get my hope realized, I can get my dream realized only if I know my duty. It is dark. In the darkness is born the new year, and the new sun is born. The new sun brings to light not only the tangible things that we see, it brings to light our duties. It reminds of our duties. We got a lot of duties left to be performed. In fact, Akka says in one of the books, don't allow time to chase you. You be ahead of time. You control time before time controls you. And therefore, Akka clearly ends this song inviting us to join the new year by remembering our duties and performing them very well. If we perform them very well, all dreams will come true. Now, we will go into the portions of the new books, collection of articles of Akka, and it has been very nicely arranged and presented by Nandaji Madras, and we really thank them. What I call them is few teasers. I've taken extracts as they are and tried to translate in as closely to the Tamil meaning it can convey. And somewhere I decided to just give the gist in my own words. And I now invite Varshini to read the next page, the page 3 for you.
Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. The teasers from Thodarum Nesangal, extracts from chapter 2, Under the Blades of Grass, Humility of the Grass. How did your mind allow you to stamp on me? Painfully asked the grass in a non aggressive tone. We are always in a hurry. We want to chase many things in this worldly life. As we walk hurriedly, a thorn hurts us. We scream in pain, but we put our entire body weight on the poor grass. It soothes us. It does not pierce like the thorn. It may get destroyed when stamped, but some life is left in its roots. With a little moisture, it springs up. Once again, provides the comfort to man to sit on it and relax. Yet we stamp on it, maybe in the dark of night or unmindfully because of our day to day hasty life. But the little grass questions calmly despite being hurt deeply. This is the epitome of humility. My dear little grass, I listen to you. Your question has shown me the treasure underneath your soft blades. I now realize that I will have to watch my steps, that I must move step by step. In this process, I will meet with less struggles. I will not hurt anyone, nor will I be hurt by anyone.
Can you stop here? We can discuss on this.
Yes, uncle. Yeah.
Yeah. Vashin, do you have any take from this before I go to others?
What I understood from this was we have to be like the grass. எப்படின்னா எவ்வளோ நம்மள வந்து யாராவது ஹர்ட் பண்ணாலோ இல்லை நம்மள வந்து ரொம்ப மதிக்காம இருக்காலோ நம்ம அதுக்கு இடம் கொடுக்காம வி ஷுட் பி வெரி ஹம்பிள் டு தெம் அண்ட் அந்த ப்ராசஸ்ல நம்மளும் ரொம்ப இது பெருசா எடுத்துக்காம அப்படியே ஹம்பிளா விட்டுடணுங்கிறது எனக்கு புரிஞ்சுது இந்த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பேராகிராஃப்.
Thank you. Well taken. Any other viewpoint on this? From somebody else. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
This somewhere relates to don't run behind, don't feel bad when somebody doesn't respect you, or from the last satsang, that paragraph which I'm not able to recollect word to word, but then it said don't run behind to seek respect. something like that.
Yeah, correct. Because the respect reaches you, whether you seek it or not, depends upon how you move in life.
Okay, Mama, I can you put more light on your question has shown me the treasure underneath your soft blades.
Hmm. This is basically what it talks about is that because if you read it in Tamil, it will be a lot more invigorating, but I couldn't find the right English words for this. It has got a few connotations. Grass is an example for you. It's a question of introspection. In our hurry-burry life, we don't mind anybody. We just want to achieve our things, whether it is getting into a train or getting the mark in the school or getting the performance rating in the office. We are focused on ourselves. We don't bother about anybody else. We stamp them. We don't really think about what we speak or how do we act, how we leave an impression on somebody else. But the moment you probably sit back and realize, or somebody comes and talks to you, sir, you hurt me. Then slowly you start thinking. That's what Akka says that you be observant to any question that is put to you. A grass cannot talk, but Akka gives it a voice and it pleads, how do you manage to stamp on me? How do you have the heart to stamp on me? I'm a poor little thing. Can't you please walk little tenderly over me? I give you enough comfort when you stay on me. When you walk on me slowly, I give you comfort to your feet, especially in the morning when you walk with no drizzles on it, with the little blades of moisture on it. It's so soothing to walk on such a grass, and even we recommended to walk like that. But why do you want to stamp on me? This exactly message for us is to that how humility protects the grass. The grass will not die, even if you stamp on it. Sometimes the blade is cut, but the root will still be there. A little moisture, and somebody puts some water or even spits on it, it comes back to life. That's why what you say is that you watch yourself, don't hurt other people. And be like a grass. If somebody stamps you, don't return to retire. You can just clearly express your pain that you are hurt. And you are not blaming him, that you feel you are hurt. Please watch out that I am still helpful to you. This probably is the entire message of transaction analysis. Like you are okay, I am okay. The grass is okay, I am also okay. I hope I clarified that.
Yes, thank you.
Sir, the subject of grass is of great philosophical and spiritual value. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Trinadapi Sunishena, Tarorapi Sagishnuna, Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadaharihi. What he says there is you should feel that you are so humble like a blade of grass. And also you should be in a position to face whatever happens to you in your life by reciting to the God, just like a tree which is unable to move. And also you always chant about the greatness of God. I think great philosophers and also science, they use this, the simile of the grass. It's a great thing to watch because great people think alike. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In fact, I am reminded of the a small parable we used to hear when we were in the class 2 or class 3. They always used to compare a palm tree with grass. The palm tree is both that I am tall and I am strong, but it was totally demolished by a storm. Whereas grass, being humble, it survived the storm. It bent itself, but it came back when the storm disappeared. That is where humility gives you the respect, not necessarily your physical strength and intellectual strength. Atma Shakti is like blade. Is the blade of grass. Probably it's for no. We don't know that this Akash messages continue with our earlier topic. We talked about a lot in about humility. The very first extent I could get from this chapter was on humility. Any other take? Otherwise, I can move into next question.
So, Uncle, one quote which I read long before, which kind of stayed close to me on humility, uh, and I have a question as well following that. Right, the quote was like this: humility is a very strange thing. The moment you think you have it, you lost it. Right. So it's like the moment you say I'm very humble, you lost your humility. Right. So that is a say that's a saying I kind of read long back, and it kind of stayed close to me all the time. That is one part of it I just wanted to share in general. The second part is a question which I wanted to ask. Many a times in the corporate world, right? So when you might know a lot of things, and you might like to put that in a very polite way in front of people, but your humility is many a times misunderstood as, you know, a lack of confidence, or you're not putting it strong for your experience or for your role. So any takes on that?
If you feel weak internally, you will appear weak externally. If you feel strong enough, but you are confident that you can convey your strength through an appropriate word, you have succeeded. If you look at, if you can go through and read and reread the last notes on the last satsang and the recording available to you, you will slowly get to it, because these are the attributes. A dog can be trained easily. It gets trained. A man is worse than a dog. He cannot be trained easily at all. He has to take his own step. That's what, even Adi Shankara says. The food is before you. You have to eat it. I cannot eat it for your sake. I can put it into your mouth. You have to chew it, taste it, and get the nourishment out of it. I cannot eat for yourself. So you'll have to go through this and understand every time how your transaction is related. You must be observant enough to get this. These things, you get over a period of time. Ultimately, as Srikantesh put it, if you seek reputation, it won't come to you. It has to reach you on your own. Therefore, the whole problem is your inferiority complex, a superiority complex that comes in the way of real humility. Humility has no facade for it. It is real as it is. That means you are not still feeling humble yourself with confidence in you. You will have developed self-confidence over a period of time.
Okay, yeah.
One more point which actually striked was in a non-aggressive tone. So that is a very nice one. So you can express.
If you are confident and if you are cool, there are two things. One, I should be confident. Second, I should be cool. When you combine both, your words will be cool enough. So therefore, basically, intolerance is a problem that we have. We are unable to tolerate an opposite point of view. We are unable to tolerate our own inability. Therefore, we get angry. So look at why we get angry. You'll get all these things, because we look at the presentation we made way back in November. There is a section on don't. I will not be angry for the day, where based on Akash books we have given what are the things that give rise to anger. The whole thing is that these things cannot be solved in one sensor. These are pointers. Akash idea is to make us think, reflect, and correct. Therefore, what we will find is that possibly a window is open for some people through the satsangs, so that they can look outside the window and see themselves and then correct themselves.
Yes.
Can you read the next portion? Contradiction.
Yes. Yes, uncle. Essence of chapter 4. I am forced into contradiction. I am Satyam. I am truth. I live in everybody. Yet I live in contradiction. For the body I live in has a different mindset. The people I live in are half baked. They don't understand the direction in which they should move. They do have some ambition, but they struggle in their inertia. They do not understand that they should have a noble goal in life. A river is born in the mountain, yet the mountain has no right over it. River flows through several terrains, but the terrains have no ownership over the river. There is the vast ocean. It has all the rights over the river. River's natural destination is the ocean. Traveling in that direction is the true nature and tendency of the river. I am Satyam, the ocean in you. You are the river. Why do you want to travel in the opposite direction? That's why I am in contradiction with your desire to travel in the opposite direction. It is in your hands to remove this contradiction. Chapter
We can stop here and discuss. Little bit depth in this. Can somebody throw light on this?
So let me start, Uncle. So what I found here, what I understood here is Amma is the contradiction here, and she lives in all of us. And what we think or what we want in life or whatever goals we have, the correctana pathla கூட்டின் போறது the contradiction called Amma. So this is how I understood. Like example is like that the river is us and ocean is Amma. wherever we go, however we go, end of the day, we join Amma. We have to join Amma. So in the Marida, I understood. So correct me if I'm wrong.
Amma is not contradiction. Amma is
Oh,
Satyam. Our attitude is contradiction.
okay, okay.
Is it to do with the mind and heart here? But this is a bit complicated, Mama. I think you may have to unravel this mystery.
Kannan, you can probably give little light on this.
The concept of Satyam, see, we have this in the Sachidananda also. Satyam is the eternal truth, which is there yesterday, it was there yesterday, today, and also it will be there tomorrow. Because like that, Akka is there as the eternal principle in everyone. But see, the rain is common to all, but the receptacles are different. Based on the, as you rightly said on the previous discussion on the vasanas and trigunas and things like that, each one is a separate entity by itself. But still, the grace, like the rain, it reaches all. And a day comes when the Atman thinks about the Supreme, and it is in a position to find its unity with the Supreme. That's why Akka is like that. She is, and the ocean is a great example because Akashat Patitam Toyam Yata Gacchati Sagaram. It comes like that. See, we also try to, through various means, but by the grace of God, avan arulale avantal patri, then we come into the right path and then reach. Therefore, it all symbolizes Akka's grace to all, irrespective of our own thing. And one more thing is that the grace comes not because of the qualification. It comes because of the compassion of the spiritual masters. Like that, Akka is saying, "I am the Satyam. You are the river." Because ocean is different. Because what there are different forms of water, but they are different. Ocean is ocean, and river is river. Thank you.
The purpose of the river is to flow to the ocean. And the river is born in a mountain, but mountain does not own it. The river passes through Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, but we cannot claim ownership over it. Kaveri has to reach Pumbudar and get into the ocean. That is the duty. The whole thing is that we are possessive. Actually, we are unlimited. We get limited to the mountain. We think we belong to the mountain. A mountain thinks we belong to them. Like a father thinks a child belongs to him. Child wants to run away. Therefore, these are things which you'll have to contemplate. What Akka says is that the true Atma is the reflection of God in you. You please don't operate away from it, please operate out of it. This is the complete message which she has been giving in every one of her book. Every time a different example is given. And probably like to, once again, the same thing. I have Dega Shakti, I have Buddhi Shakti, do I have Atma Shakti? I get Atma Shakti when I realize that the ocean is within me. I am trying to operate out of the ocean. Akka is within me. I am trying to operate out of Akka's, which that is my conscience. Therefore, the whole thing is all about conscience. We operate out of conscience. I am in line with God. If I forget my conscience, operate out of my ego or whatever you call, I am away from God. That is the opposite direction. Do you want to operate from God or away from God?
Mama, is there a correlation of this and also uh, be an uninvolved spectator? Then the right and wrong you will know the right and wrong. There's a saying from Ambal. Is there any correlation between that and this?
Everything has a correlation. If you look at the Munneri first chapter, we discussed quite a few times. Uh, the awakening state, the sleep state, and the deep sleep state. But the person who is observing all of them is the same. It's all the same thing. You please don't try to look outward, look inward, and look at your conscious and operate out of it. But these are all simple things Akka teaches you. What happens, I cannot achieve at the same time. I may not be able to operate out of conscience every second. But I can march towards it. That's what Akka says is that you start flowing towards me. There will be hurdles. Somebody can damn you. Meaning that I could be put in a dam and then say arrested for use of somebody. Ultimately, I have to reach. Even if I put into a dam, I evaporate and become a cloud and come back and then once again go to the ocean. Therefore, my duty is to somehow convert myself into water, even if I am evaporating, and then go back to ocean. That is the whole thing. Or if I am blocked somewhere, I take another birth. So I become a trapped water, evaporates, it becomes a cloud and comes back once again to find its way to the sea. That's what we have to live. We may go diverted from of it, but we should remember I am a river. I may be blocked because of my own folly, or I may be blocked because of somebody else. But my job is to flow. I will not stop flowing. I will not stop. I will not flow in the opposite direction. I will flow in the right direction. How many births I may take, I will keep flowing towards the ocean. A little complicated, but we'll have to apply our mind, get towards it, because constantly we remind all these things. Therefore, you always try to operate out of the conscience, not operate out of the ego.
Uncle Rajeshwari here. So what I get from this is, I think our natural tendency is to go in the opposite direction. That's why she is saying, that's why I'm in contradiction with your desire. So when she was in physical presence, she was always there to guide us. So now we need to look for ways to get her guidance, and maybe one of the ways is her books. So I think every time we are taking decision, so we have to know that, our desires may be in the opposite direction, and we need to connect with her and get the right direction.
Yeah, correct, absolutely right. We get diverted. Actually, our destiny is, we know, but we get deliberately diverted. Can you go to the next? Modesty yields accolades.
Yes. Modesty yields accolades, illustrated by a leaf from filmmaker Satyajit Ray's Humble Path. The less you talk, the more you listen. The less you talk, the more you think. The more you think, the nobler is your goal. Nobler the goal, clearer is your plan. Clearer your plan, more efficient is your execution. More the modesty in expectation and humility in expression. Closer are you to acclamation and God's disposition. After all, God does have a plan for you as you operate out of humility.
I'll just spend 1 minute on Satyajit Ray. Akka took an interview of Satyajit Ray and wrote this entire article. What it says is that Adakam gets you everything, that modesty yields you everything that you require. Once again, it talks about humility. When Satyajit Ray's films were shown in various places, filmmakers in London studios and in Harvard, in Hollywood, they wanted him to make films in the respective languages. He refused. He said, I am wedded to Bengal. I am wedded to Indian culture. All my creations will reflect Indian culture. I don't bother about what, how you get it. Ultimately, he got the Nobel Prize. He did not even bother about it. He said, I didn't seek it and I got it. I'm very happy India gets the credit because I'm an Indian. That is the kind of thing, Akka spirits, you should say that you focus on your goal and have a right plan. For that, you need a clear thinking. If Sachin wanted to have a lot of money by making films for Hollywood, he would have been given millions of dollars in those days. He did not bother, but he lived a very simple life. His work got him all the reputation. He is what I can say, confident in his own work, in his commitment to modesty that brought all the accolades. That's what Akka reiterates there. Therefore, what she says is that Satyajit used to talk very less, but he always a clean listener and observer. Because of that, you are able to was able to think and look at a higher message to be conveyed through his films, and he conveyed them through an excellent execution of his films and directed them. And every one of his film, won accolades and ended up getting a Oscar prize for his creation. Any other take on it? We can go through. It was a 3-page article. I tried to capture the essence in 5 lines like a poem. I might have gone wrong, but I don't think the spirit is wrong here.
This seems to be very clear, unlike the previous one.
So taken to ask me, all convey the same meaning. Depends upon your level of development, understand. This is much easily appeals to you. Same thing is told in a little complicated in the previous thing about Satyam. Same thing is told in a very simpler way by comparing yourself to a grass. Therefore, the message is same, but the medium of message is slightly different. The medium is meant for several people. Somebody may be LKG, somebody may be in doing research. So we'll have to take a leave from whether we are in LKG or we are doing research.
Yes, yes.
Vishnu, can do the next page.
Yeah, sure. Can you hear me well?
Yeah.
Okay. Purport of chapter 8. Let us dissolve in him. The Almighty has kept his doors open. It is for us to broaden our minds and hearts. It is for us to keep our eyes wide open to find the doors. That's the way to enter his kingdom and melt in him.
Any
Purport.
thought on this chapter? Because I would rather keep this and the chapter 12 together, and you can do 1 and 18 now.
You want me to read 12 first or 1
I
and
know
18?
we'll take this chapter and the chapter 12 together. In between 1 and 18, you can read out.
Okay. Okay. Purport of chapters 1 and 18. The glory and bliss of Nandalala. Ever-loving Lord Krishna has taken the form of Nandalala in Chennai. He carved himself into a touchstone. He rubs you to test the purity of your love and devotion. He does have the lotus feet for you to rub yourself and improve your purity. He keeps ready the divine cow by his side to grant you all your legitimate wishes. He is ready to grow in you. Welcome him.
Can you contemplate on these? If you understand this paragraph, you understand both 8 and 12.
I mean, the first thought that comes to my mind is long ago. So I had the fortune of standing right next to Sri Akka in the temple looking at Nandalala. And so at that time, we were still stationed in Delhi. And I was telling her that every time or I think she was traveling to the US rather. And I was telling her, I have this strong desire of, every time I meet you, I feel like I should just keep seeing you all the time. And that's something the mind always wishes. And she told me that, you stand in front of Nandalala, look at the eyes and keep staring at it for a long time. And then you will see that I am looking right back at you. Now looking back at you at that time, it was more in our minds as okay that she's going to, she's kind of giving the comfort that I'm here with you, even though I'm traveling away. While that could be one part of it, but just listening to this part, it means that to me it sends a signal that even when she was traveling away or something, she still had a means for us to still be able to introspect, and also to say that she will be looking at us as we introspect to guide us in the right direction and keep sharpening us to improve our purity as we keep traveling. So that means wherever she was traveling, she will always make sure that we travel in the right direction, like that river was talking about in the previous page. So that's the immediate thing that comes to my mind.
Any other take on this? I'll just get one impression out of this. It expresses Adiparashakti's humility. She says that she did not say, I created Nandalala, though we know that she created Nandalala in the statue form. She says, ever-loving Lord Krishna has taken the form of Nandalala in Chennai, meaning that she is an instrument bringing him in Chennai. And she says that it was his desire to carve himself into touchstone. She did not choose. She says that he desired himself to carve into touchstone. Why? Because you come and rub against him, and he rubs against you. It is a two-way transaction. That's why when she told you that the eyes are like mine, you can always see me. It was Akash Prana Pratishtha in the form of that statue. The whole thing is that it's a two-way transaction. Krishna tests you, you also test yourself. Krishna tests you to ensure that you get purer and come to him, so that there was no need to rub to him thereafter. But you should also go and rub yourself on his lotus feet. He rubs you with his eyes, you rub him at his lotus feet. These are some simple things he wanted to convey. At the same time, I am not here to getting rubbed and go into salvation. Right? I want to live in this world. I don't mind getting more birds. There is a cow for you to give a goodness in this birth, maybe goodness in the next birth too, till you really rub and totally merge into Him. He wants to grow in you. Please welcome Him. That is what Akka says. Second thing, the most important connect here is that many a times we go to a temple, just rush, we take the tirtham and tulsi and get away, and think that we have got everything. She says, spend quality time in the temple. Look at the statue, look at the eyes, look at the hands, look at the cow. Then you get fully embraced by Him. Otherwise, we'll be like Duryodhana, covering ourselves, not getting the best of the eyesight of his mother. He lost himself. Don't do that. Please be naked yourself from your thoughts. I'm not talking about dress. Be naked from your thoughts. Look at Him passionately at His eyes. You will find that you are up enough onto Him and you become gold. I think that is the message he wanted to convey, because you get this message if you read chapter 1 and 18 slowly over a couple of days. I tried to put it in 5 single things because these are teasers. It enables you to adjust you to go and buy the book and read it and share your experience with somebody else. Now you can go to chapter 12.
Sure. Extracts from chapter 12. Dissolve in me, the ultimate invitation from Sri Akka. Owing to the presence of sense organs like eyes, ears, nose, etc., we get the ability to experience through the body. Please contemplate on this. Body does not experience anything. Only through sense organs we can feel something. Neither the senses nor the body enjoy anything. In effect, the spark of life in us is the true experiencer. To experience something, there should exist an enabling mechanism to sense, perceive, and feel. We know that if we bite into a sugarcane, we taste sweetness. It does not mean anything to the one who has never seen a sugarcane. If he is told that sugarcane will look like this, it'll be tall, it'll have joints, it'll be strong, it has blade like leaves, etc. With this description, if he attempts to bite into a bamboo stick, he will hurt his mouth, teeth, and tongue. The very word sugarcane will make him recall only the sufferings he went through while biting into the bamboo. We are no different from the man who has not seen or tasted sugarcane. We are ignorant of what exactly is pleasure. Bhakti is the path to gain and experience true pleasure. It is the spark within us that guides us. A father has a distinct appearance and trait. His son will be born with some changes in appearance and trait. Son may resemble his mother, daughter may resemble her father, a grandchild will carry the appearance of its grandfather. This chain never gets snapped. It is the order of evolution. Therefore, we are all children of God. Our form and capability are present in the Almighty who has sent us to this earth. This truth is irrefutable. Every one of you knows it well. You have received love from someone and have felt happy about it. You have also extended love to someone that made each other happy. Mind should be ready to extend love. Do come forward to give and receive love. God will be with you. Let your eyes shed the tears born out of love. When are you going to be overwhelmed by love that makes you choke and grope for words? Should I continue?
Yeah, continue and go to the last. Then we
Okay. Okay. So the following should be our prayer and submission to Him. All achievements are yours, but you let the history carry our name. Truth is yours, but you do credit us with the glory of penance. Let us make knowledge public and share the fruits of it with everyone. Please accept our humility and let peace be ours. Let the speech be mine, but the glory yours. Let the eyes be mine, but let your compassion flow through it. Let the mind be mine, but let it please you.
finish the last question also.
Sure. Don't seek from me every now and then pleading, give me this, give me that. I am inviting you into my fold loudly. Come in, come in. Come in and dissolve in me. There is no you anymore. I am you. Believe this. Madhyoli.
Now you read the first portion, the chapter 8 portion. The
The
Almighty.
Almighty has kept his doors open. It is for us to broaden our minds and hearts. It is for us to keep our eyes wide open to find the doors. That's the way to enter his kingdom and melt in him.
Okay, now we can discuss the entire portion. You remember we had discussed this particular chapter 2-3 months back in one satsang.
Yes.
And many wanted that we should have another discussion on this. I chose to take some extracts out of that and then put it here. We can absorb this for a few minutes and then go to the next page. Any important take from this?
As you said, everything is like intertwined. I can see that in the chapters 1 to 18, the last line, he is ready to grow in you, welcome him. So as reading again and again, it is that Akka is within you, and you need to nurture those good thoughts that she has imbibed, shown, to see that the Akka in you grows, and the difference between you and Akka dissolves.
Yeah, it's a perfect thing. The means for achieving that is given in the glory and bliss of Nandalala. Because if you look at the, chapter 8 and chapter 12, they are similar in their nature. But we are not in a position to understand it and act immediately. Therefore, you go to Nandalala. You go to the prayer form. You start with your bhakti towards that Acha form of God, and slowly you will be able to get all these things. For example, in chapter 12, it is a lot more philosophy. Aga talks about our five senses. And for example, assuming that I am standing near a staircase and I am lost in my thoughts. Somebody calls me Shankar. I immediately try to wake up and probably I trip and fall down. Then what was I seeing? I don't know what I was seeing. I was blank. If my sight is fixed on something, then if my mind absorb it and processes it, pushing me, who is this processor? Because I can keep seeing it without absorbing anything. Like sitting in a class for 1 hour and then not remembering anything because our attention is somewhere else. So Akka goes through that thing that you train your mind, thought, action in one plane. Then connect your mind, thought, action to me. Then there is no difference between you and me. You have dissolved in me. Till that time you dissolve, you are separate from me. Probably this is the entire summary of these three portions. And if some other take is there, I would like to hear.
Sir, the simple thing here is that one should develop some relationship with the God. That's very important. Then you should consider, then only it becomes your personal deity. Either you Vatsalya Baba or Sakya Baba, Dasya Baba or Madhurya Baba, whichever appeals to your core nature. One should do this. That's why Advars Endai Tande Tandaikum Mundai. Like that, we have to develop some sort of relationship with the God. Therefore, He is always with us. Like that only. It's a simple way to approach God that has been very nicely brought out here. Thank you.
Yeah. And that's where, very simple thing, Akka, the way she goes about it, that your father is born out of me, your father's father is born out of me, your father's father's father is born out of me, your son is born out of me, your grandson is going to be born out of me. That means the same gene of God is in us. But you have collected some other genes as you have taken birth. Therefore, you will have to travel beyond those genes and touch the original gene of God within you. That is possible only if you are able to train your mind, body, and your action entirely towards God or as an instrument of God.
Mama, sometimes it helps for example, if you have a situation, if you think what would Akka's reaction on that situation be? Because she has given us n number of examples. Feeding is the best example. Like if you have prepared something, and how would you distribute it or share it with across with everyone? If you just put, if you just think what would Ambal do, then there is a nice feeling which helps you to experience Akka, that this is how she would have done it, because we have seen her doing that many times. That is like one example which I can give,
Yeah,
a practical example.
see what happens, whether it's like Rama or Krishna or Akka, they lived with us and they showed how to live. This is very, very important. These are examples. For example, Rama lived in a very straightforward situation. He could distinguish between Rakshasas and the Manushas. Whereas Krishna lived in a more complex situation where everything is the same person, good, bad, ugly, everything is the same person. The line was much narrower. Now the line is distinct, totally gone. Therefore, Akka came with us and lived with us. We have to observe. See, look, what you pointed out is what reminds me is the observation. Have we, most of us have moved to Appa for more than 10 years, people, a person like me has more than 64 years. Have I imbibed something from Akka? That's what she says, Nandalala, look at his eyes. Rub yourself. You spend that much time with him, like you spend with me. Same thing you apply to yourself. You spend that much time in Satsang. All it counts is that if you want to evolve and be in touch with God, you must be part of Satsang. That is why, when the Satsang was started way back in Bangalore in 2013, 14, I remember Satya was alive at that point in time. We used to have a physical meeting at Bull Temple Road. Hardly 5, 6, 7 used to come. Thanks to it was being a Saturday, many at the time, and traveling was a big issue. Akka asked me once, what if nobody turns? Satya will definitely turn, I will definitely turn, because we have taken this job of doing it. What if Satya also does not come on that day? What will you do? Akka, you are going to be there. I'll take the book and read it and meditate, and so that I'll get some answers from you. She said, there will be a day when the 7 will become 700. I did not think that virtual satsang is going to take place. And her words she told in way back in 2013-14 has become true now. Because the first book we took for discussion was Takam. Takam in English means impact. I feel that impact today because we're able to communicate freely and we're able to circulate the topic in advance. And I'm happy to see that there are about 50 participants. If we take 2 per family, we're spending at least 100. I've seen only 7 people in the past. I'm really overwhelmed, and this is what Akka believes, that please get together, like-minded people. You may be in several planes of dimensions of thinking. Don't worry about it. If you, Shankar, you feel somebody is better than you understanding, you please listen to him. And you believe that somebody is less understanding, please bring him to that fold. So this is a chain where we have to pull each of us together and upwards. There is no thing that I only go up. I must take somebody else up. Somebody ahead of me has got the duty to take me up. And these are the simple messages which we probably record on this New Year day. And we can keep discussing till cows come home. Let us move to the parenting, which is very important. I think Vijay Rajagopal is going to read parenting.
Yeah. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. A child is a gift from God. It is the duty of the parents to bring up the children. They should develop the belief that God will endow everything on the child. They should inculcate this faith in the young ones right from their tender age. When born, children are like a clean slate. The impressions we create as parents in this slate and the impressions they gain with the companions and in the atmosphere they move with shape their character. Children learn by observing the elders at home. Elders should be conscious of this and be a role model in terms of good behavior, good words, and pleasant demeanor. It is preferable to educate a child in a school with students from all strata of the society rather than to admit in an institution which is only to the affluent. This will inculcate the all-inclusive trait in them. It is important to discipline the children, but the choice of words should be positive in nature. We should shun words of negative or harsh impact while inculcating discipline in the child. Children should be encouraged to read in natural light as far as possible. This will encourage them to get up early in the morning. It will improve their eyesight. It is important to train the children to sit on the floor and do their work. This practice will improve their strength. Education today is focused on preparing one for a vocation or profession. The approach should be to build up independent thinking, societal awareness, the ability to make the right choice by weighing all pros and cons, and more importantly, ethical behavior and social responsibility.
Can you stop here? And the any take on this advice, they're very clear. There are about 100 pieces of advice in that particular book, and I chose only 4 or 5 so that what is very important is conveyed, and every parent and grandparent probably can go through that. A parent who was not able to get his child run properly, as a grandparent, he can do it to the grandson. Any take on these points? Is it too clear or any discussions required?
Yes, it's very clear. எல்லா குழந்தையுமே பறக்கறச்சே நல்ல குழந்தை தான். ஆனா அதை நம்ம தான் ஷேப் பண்ணணும் நல்ல குழந்தையா அப்படின்னு. அதே மாதிரி அக்கா வந்து எப்பவுமே பசங்க கிட்ட ரொம்ப ஃப்ரீயா இருந்தாலும் அந்த டிசிப்ளினை ரொம்ப இன்சிஸ்ட் பண்ணுவா. அதே மாதிரி படிப்பை தவிர இந்த எக்ஸ்ட்ரா கரிக்குலர் ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் லைக் மியூசிக், டான்ஸ், ஸ்லோகா அதெல்லாம் ரொம்ப அக்கா வந்து என்கரேஜ் பண்ணுவா. அண்ட் ஷி ஆல்வேஸ் வாண்டட் சில்ட்ரன் டு பி ஆல்ரவுண்டர், எஸ்பெஷலி நந்தலாலா சில்ட்ரன். பட் ஷி வாஸ் ஆல்சோ focusing on the discipline. பார்த்தா அக்கா வந்து ரொம்ப சாஃப்டா இருக்கும், ரொம்ப நம்ம குழந்தைங்களோட குழந்தைங்களா இருப்பா எல்லாம். ஆனா when it comes to studies and other activities, she will always want the children to do best, give their best, everything. Because I remember once I took Akshaya to akka and அவளோட மார்க்ஸ் எல்லாம் சொல்றச்சு அக்கா, why did you get less? You should get more. You should aim high. You should, if you are capable of getting 80, you must aim to get 100. அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு motivation akka will give. So that's when I found out that akka is little more like strict than parents also in terms of education and in terms of like other extra activities. She always pushes children to do their best, give their best, no lazy, no grim for lethargic. அந்த மாதிரி அக்கா இருக்கச்சே அது நல்லா ஒர்க் அவுட் ஆச்சு. இப்போ பசங்க எல்லாம் வந்து பாத்தீங்கன்னா எஸ்பெஷலி இந்த they are like, of course we have to go on tell them to do like, take them to temple as frequently as possible is a very, very important thing. I also feel that because today's children, like, they would rather prefer to be with their phone, but still bring the phone to the temple. Keep the phone away when you are at the temple. That is how we should motivate them and take them to temples.
What I feel is that we run 2 schools. One at Chanachana here and then Madhivali Vidya Bhavan there. Whoever we are involved in, interacting with the children or teachers day to day, we should get these messages through our teachers to those children. At least a few hundred we would have prepared in the foregoing future. We would have created some 300, 400 good citizens who will imbibe by all these teachings. And probably there is any other message from this. Anybody, any other take is there?
For me, thanks, Mama. Mama, for me, couple of weeks back, when my sister had planned to come down to Hyderabad for New Year, I thought I should be enrolling herself in a parental behavior online class or something. And I was just thinking, I don't know why I felt that. And I myself wanted to be a good parent for all the 200 children that we have, which will surely grow in multifold. And when this came across, it was that akka telling me that you need not go anywhere else. A book is coming down, read this book again and again and again and again, and you'll be a good parent. So this is a very good thing. And there are like very, very small things which is given. One thing which I found from akka is observe the children and then try to mold them. I have seen her in all the darshans. All the young ones would just run around, play around. She never told them "Okande na solradhu kelu." She would just let them be their own self, and over a period of time, children would just come down and sit attentively listening to what is happening or seeing and observing what is happening. That didn't mean that she didn't care to imbibe good qualities in them, but she said let them be themselves, and they're just playing around at their age. So that is one thing which I always feel. I feel you should let children be themselves, and of course if they're doing something wrong, tell it in a nice words. And I think if I speak more here, they'll say that you're not a parent. Everyone else
Yeah,
is here.
don't worry. If you adopted somebody, 200 people as students, though you're not married, they're your children. Now, what thing is that the role for us is to not only act like a parent, the school, we are a responsible institution, and also communicate with the parents of the respective children. So that they are able to follow the same thing at house. It's basically a combination job of the school as well as the parents. And basically, when you talk about Akka, is talking about giving a long rope. Assuming that I'm tied to a particular post, the post is fixed. The rope is long enough for the my child to go around, but still is in my observation. And the child knows that he cannot go beyond a point. We should know how long the rope should be given. It depends upon the child's nature and tendency. We should understand and restrict the rope or enlarge the rope depending upon how it shapes up. And probably this cannot be taught in one satsang. You have to read, and then try to understand with practice. There will be mistakes, but the mistake should not be enough to cast, leaving the child loose to bad elements. And the last boxed portion is my words, not Aka's words. I read through the entire book of the Thodarum Nesam. The last chapter 18 was really touching. It talks about the entire evolution of Nandalala, and probably I should be able to translate some point the entire full article and circulate it for us to understand why Nandalala. After reading that, I put this as the summary from our side. These are not Akka's words, it's a devotee's word. Akka, you gave birth to Nandalala for our prosperity, Madhivali. You taught us the way of leading a life with integrity, Madhivali. You are the lighthouse, showing us the path of duty, Madhivali. You are enlightening us to shed the veil of duality, Madhivali. You are waiting for us to dissolve in you like a sugar candy, Madhivali. We do realize that it should not be made to wait in eternity for this unity, Madhivali. We urge you to bless us with the steadfastness in pursuit of this unity, Madhivali. Kannan said, Avanarale, Avandal Pulesinde. The last line talks about, please give us the grace so that we don't make you wait to merge into you. Thank you. We will go to the next topic. I already circulated whatever we can look forward to in 2021. That's a very simple way of understanding the role of planets in our life and understanding the role of God in our life. And basically, we have gone through a very tough phase, 2020. 2021, the starting planets are reasonably good as compared to last year, but still, all the planets will be trapped into between Ketu and Rahu every now and then, sometime in February, sometime in March and April. So we will have this kind of a little turbulent time till April, and as the year progresses, the second half, we will all be well settled, and let us look forward to it. We need Aka's guidance to go to the next 4-5 months. She will always help us. So that's why, based on the planetary position and start of the year, some suggestions have been given to visit some temples and other things. If you cannot visit a temple, think of the God and pray at home, or just chant Vinatir Padikam. I left out one thing. Only after I finished, I remembered that yesterday is Parashurama Jayanti, if I remember right. And in Dasavadas, Parashurama stands for Chukran. And this particular year is born on Friday, which is linked to Chukran. And therefore, you can also read Parashurama Avadara Sloka, which is available in net itself, and get yourself blessed with this grace also. And if you got Nathina night, so temple it was yesterday, they done it today. If I just start the Panjangam in one calendar says yesterday. Kannan should be right. Kannan Parashurama is yesterday or today?
Yeah, it's yesterday, sir. But you see, in the almanac, sir, the different dates are given, sir. In
yeah, I thought in Tirukandam one day is given, Vakyapantam another day is given. Some temples celebrate yesterday, some temples do it today. Anyway, Parashurama stands for Chukran. We need Chukran, they say always. Let us pray to
Chukradasha should be there for all, sir.
I please go through that. If there is any independent doubt, because many people may want to understand their position based on their Rasi, you can please always call me, and whatever I can give a tip based on Aka's whatever knowledge she has given to me, I will certainly help any one of you out. And this message, I take it as my part, give every year, because this is the knowledge Akka gave to me. I want to share it with everybody. Don't get threatened. The planets are under the control of God. If we keep God under our control, planets will be under control. Nothing will happen to us. That's why Vinati Padikam was born. I can move to the next song. Nothing is impossible.
As per Srirangam Panjangam, Parashurama Jayanti is today only. That is Friday. Friday, and Parashurama Jayanti is as per Srirangam Vakya Panjangam. Therefore, you are right always, as always.
Because Kanchi is Trikanitha Panjangam, it's celebrated yesterday in some temples in Kanchipuram. Anyway, that's irremediable. Parasarama is avatar of Vishnu. We can always pray. If there's nothing on about the forecast, it is all been circulated. We'll move to the final song of Akka, Mudiyadadillai, Nothing is Impossible. And Jodi has set a beautiful tune. As like Janani, I gave her 24 hours notice. As she came with a beautiful tune for a very, very difficult lyric. We'll play it now.
Jai Nandalala. Wish you all a very, very happy new year. The song that I'm going to sing is a composition of Sri Akka titled Mudiyadadillai. This song was tuned by Srimati Lakshmi Vishwanathan, my guru, at the age of 14 actually. Incidentally, when Mr. Shankar messaged me to sing this song, tune this and sing this song, I was not very confident to say to tune this song, as this was in more what we say Urai Nadai. And then I messaged my teacher to help me to tune this song, as I wanted to sing it on the New Year's Eve Satsang. And within a few minutes, she was so elated, and she called me back saying that this was the first song of Sri Akka that she had composed at the age of 14. And in fact, the title Mudiyadadillai, which says nothing is impossible, was very important at that age for her, and it had helped her to see through so many things in her life. And today, when she saw my message and I wanted her to tune this song, she was so elated and happy, because it reminded her as a message from Sri Akka herself to give her that strength back again, to believe that முடியாததில்லை, வாழ்க்கையில் முடியாதது எதுவுமே இல்லைங்கிறத எனக்கு ஞாபகப்படுத்துகிற மாதிரி இந்த அக்காவோட மெசேஜை நீ எனக்கு அனுப்பிச்சிருக்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லி she was very happy. And so with that note, I would like to sing this song as a dedication to my teacher and to Sri Akka. தனக்கென்றே வாழ்கின்றோம் தன்னலமே அன்றி, தனக்கென்றே வாழ்கின்றோம் தன்னலமே அன்றி, தானொருவர் காய் வாழ துணிவதுவும் இல்லை. தனக்கென்றே வாழ்கின்றோம் தன்னலமே அன்றி, தானொருவர் காய் வாழ துணிவதுவும் இல்லை. இனிக்கின்ற சொல்லெல்லாம் எச்சிலென உமிழ்ந்து, இன்னாதவற்றினையே இயல்பாக கொண்டோம். இனிக்கின்ற சொல்லெல்லாம் எச்சிலென உமிழ்ந்து, இன்னாதவற்றினையே இயல்பாக கொண்டோம். நினைக்கின்றோம் நினைக்காமல் இருப்பதற்கும் இல்லை, நினைப்பதெல்லாம் நடக்கும் என நம்புவதற்கில்லை. நினைக்கின்றோம் நினைக்காமல் இருப்பதற்கும் இல்லை, நினைப்பதெல்லாம் நடக்கும் என நம்புவதற்கில்லை. வினை பிறவி எவ்வாழ்வும் விடிந்திடும் முன் முடியும், விளையாட்டாம் இதனுள்ளும் விரும்பியது செய்வோம். வினை பிறவி எவ்வாழ்வும் விடிந்திடும் முன் முடியும், விளையாட்டாம் இதனுள்ளும் விரும்பியது செய்வோம், நாம் விரும்பியது செய்வோம். அன்பைத்தான் தருகின்றாள் அவள் கருணை அதுவே, அவ்வன்பை பகிர்ந்துண்போம் அவன் அணை என்போம். அன்பைத்தான் தருகின்றாள் அவள் கருணை அதுவே, அவ்வன்பை பகிர்ந்துண்போம் அவன் அணை என்போம். இன்பத்தை இருப்பதனை இன்னொருவர் கழித்து இன்பமுறும் அம்முகம் கண்டேற்றிடுவோம் என்போம். இன்பத்தை இருப்பதனை இன்னொருவர் கழித்து இன்பமுறும் அம்முகம் கண்டேற்றிடுவோம் என்போம். துன்பத்தை கண்டு மனம் சோர்ந்து விடாதென்றும் துன்புறும் எண்ணற்றோர் துயர் துடைப்போம் என்போம். துன்பத்தை கண்டு மனம் சோர்ந்து விடாதென்றும் துன்புறும் எண்ணற்றோர் துயர் துடைப்போம் என்போம். பின்பற்றுவோம் பெரியோர் பொன்மொழிகள் என்று பெருமிதமும் இன்மையெனும் பெருமையுடன் வாழ்வோம். பின்பற்றுவோம் பெரியோர் பொன்மொழிகள் என்று பெருமிதமும் இன்மையெனும் பெருமையுடன் வாழ்வோம். நாம் பெருமையுடன் வாழ்வோம். அறிவளித்த அவன் விருப்பு அவ்விரைவை உள்ளம் அறம் காட்டும் வழி செலுத்தி அழைத்தொழுக வேண்டும். அறிவளித்த அவன் விருப்பு அவ்வறிவை உள்ளம் மரம் காட்டும் வழி செலுத்தி அழைத்தொழுக வேண்டும். குறை மறுத்து மன்னித்து குற்றங்கள் பொறுத்து கொள்வதெல்லாம் குறைந்தே நாம் கொடுப்பதனை உயர்த்தி. குறை மறந்து மன்னித்து குற்றங்கள் பொறுத்து கொள்வதெல்லாம் குறைந்தே நாம் கொடுப்பதனை உயர்த்தி. பிறருடைமை கை கொண்டு புறம் கூறா நின்று பொய்யொழித்து மெய் ஒன்றே போற்றியது உயிராய். பிறருடைமை கை கொண்டு புறம் கூறா நின்று பொய்யொழித்து மெய் ஒன்றே போற்றியது உயிராய். நிறைவு கொண்டே என்றும் நேர்மையுடன் வாழ நிச்சயமாய் முயன்றிடுவோம் முடியாததில்லை. நிறைவு கொண்டே என்றும் நேர்மையுடன் வாழ நிச்சயமாய் முயன்றிடுவோம் முடியாததில்லை. ஏதும் முடியாததில்லை, ஏதும் முடியாததில்லை.
It's an amazing lyric written by Akka in her early teens, the first one to be written by her. It says nothing is impossible. How nothing is impossible? She starts with the first 5 lines with our current state of mind, where we revolve around what we need and what we want, rather than trying to look at how we will be impacting others by desiring for something, by needing something, and how do we move out of the selfishness. First 6 paragraphs she talks about as we are today. The next 6 paragraphs she talks about how do we get out of these every single thing which are shackling us. The moment the shackles are removed, we are able to see everybody as one. We are able to just not live for ourselves, but live for others. We are not living pretentiously, but we are living truthfully, because when I remove all those shackles which are preventing me from seeing God in me, once those are removed, I am acting as an instrument of God. The moment I believe I'm an instrument of God, there is nothing impossible. I am wedded to truth, therefore I will achieve everything. It's an amazing communication, and it's a very difficult lyric to put into music. It is just in prose form, as Jyoti said. But somebody has tuned it. It's all Aka's connect. She chose these songs for us to be benefited. I'll try to translate both the songs in English without disturbing the meaning of it, and share it maybe before the next satsang. In fact, today, New Year Day, we work in our office. There was supposed to be a town hall where I'm supposed to participate at the same time at 4 to 5. I told them I'm not able to participate, but I'll give you Aka's message. I translate these poems and put as a message, and it has been received very, very immensely by everybody from their bottom of hearts. And that is the power of Aka's writings. And Kalyan, we can move to Parapujan.
அலியின் ஒளியாம் மதியொளி, உண்மையின் வெளிச்சம் மதியொளி, மயக்கத்தை மாய்க்கும் மதியொளி, அன்பின் உருவம் மதியொளி, ஒற்றுமையை ஓங்கும் மதியொளி. ஓம் ஓம் ஓம். अन्ने मदिवली नमस्तेस्तु अखिलांडेश्वरी नमोस्तुते। अम्बा मदिवली नमस्तेस्तु अखिलांडेश्वरी नमोस्तुते। अन्नपूर्णेश्वरी नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। अभिराम मदिवली नमस्तेस्तु अखिलांडेश्वरी नमोस्तुते। आदि पराशक्ति नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। अरुण भुवनेश्वरी नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। आदि लक्ष्मी नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। आनंद नर्तनी नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। आगम वेदमे नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। अलेमगल कलिमगल तिरुमगल नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। अष्ट ऐश्वर्यमे नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। अखंड परिपूरणी नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। अखिल परिपालिनी नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। अरुण ज्ञान सरस्वती नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। अभय प्रतयिनी नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। अनाथ रक्षकी नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। अलय भूषणी नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। अखिलांड नायकी नमस्तेस्तु अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते। अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते अन्ने मदिवली नमोस्तुते।
Thanks everybody for participating in Satsang on a New Year day. I think quite a few people had offices also today. We had to keep it a little advanced today because there is a live Pada Puja happening at Kas Brindavanam today, being a New Year. Yeah, I'm supposed to go through. I slightly rushed up the topic today. Please bear with me. I will spend a lot more time in the next Satsang, and anything you want to know, please do communicate so that we can make find some other topics for next discussion. It should be somewhere in the last week of January. And once again, reminding you that we talked about Adi Parasakti and Akka is born on Maha Saraswati Day. So all this leads to us Maha Saraswati Prayogam, which is scheduled in Bangalore on May 19, 2021. I hope restrictions will be by and large relaxed by that time. I'm sorry, February 19, 2021. And I request everybody's participation, cooperation, and we'll circulate the detailed programs maybe in a day or two. That is getting ready. Thank you once again. Wishing you all the best in 2021. Please don't worry about it. Akka is always with us. We'll sail through all the problems. We'll come out flying colors successful. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Jai Nandalala, Happy New Year.
Jai Nandalala, Happy New Year.
Jai Nandalala, Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Jai
Jai
Nandalala,
Nandalala, Happy New Year.
Jai Nandalala, Matili Sharanam.
Happy New Year. Jai Nandalala. Happy New Year.
Jai
Jai
Nandalala.
Nandalala.
Madhyali Charan.
Madhyoli Sharan.
Jai Nandalala, very, very happy New Year.
மீட்டிங் தான் வரும்.